We have a full moon in Aquarius, and with it comes this really great energy to move us forward, and some very gnarly energy to put us behind the eight ball. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the cosmic energy, and together we can gain an understanding to embrace this energy, to utilize this energy, and to move forward today and every day. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you for being here. Thank you for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send me each and every day. And welcome to your daily focus for August the 1st, 2023, Rabbit. So let's start with the numerology. Now we have the energy of the one today. So the one is the pioneer. The one is that confident, young, forceful energy, ready to conquer all, ready to go after those challenges, wanting those challenges to come in because we can see the successes that lay behind the challenge, and that motivates us. That moves us forward. So it is the I am, the independent today. If we look at the daily numerology, it would be an 8 plus a 1 plus a 7, which gives us a 16 energy, and that is about awakenings. That's about understanding, you get some kind of clarity, knowledge, wisdom comes in. Maybe you have an epiphany or an aha moment. But something all of a sudden jars you into a new reality, a different reality than the one that you were living. Okay, so one person put it once like you win the lottery. If you won the lottery, a lot of your life would fall away and there'd be all kinds of brand new beginnings for you. So it's not always something bad that happens, but many times under a 16 energy, we perceive what happens to us as bad. But it actually writes us on our path. It actually opens us up to opportunities that we never would have walked towards in any other way. And 1 plus 6 is a 7. The 7 is about building and strengthening our relationships, absolutely. The 7 is also standing in your truth. So when we have the 7 energy, it's very important for us to, we get along in life by making compromises. And compromises is a good thing. You give a little bit, I give a little bit. I take a little bit, you take a little bit. But we should never be giving away our happiness, our joy, the things we need or want in our world in order to create the harmony, in order to create the beauty, whether it's in our relationships or our environments. So standing in one's truth is a very strong energy. Now the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Aquarius, opposing the sun at 9 degrees, and that brings in our full moon energy. So at 9 degrees, the 9 degrees is all about endings, right? The 9 degrees, the 9 energy, I should say, is about closure, completion, moving things in the past, leaving it behind, healing, forgiveness. And why are we doing these things? Because we want to clear the energy. We want to clear the way for the new beginnings that we want to invite into our life. So what a strong energy to have as a 9 energy. We also have, now we have a very fixed energy because both Aquarius and Leo are fixed signs. We want to lean on the tried and true. We don't want to, try something too far out of our boundaries. We also have the air and the fire. So without air, we cannot have fire, but if we have too much fire, we will have no air. And the campfire is nice, or turning on the stove and boiling a pot of water for the tea is a beautiful thing, but an inferno or a forest fire is not a good thing. So we have to have that balance, okay, between the air, between the action, between the thoughts of pushing ourselves forward and taking risks on ourselves to just pull it back a little bit. Now this full moon asks us to see the difference between satisfying ourselves, which is the Leo sun, and collaborating with others, which is the Aquarius moon. So we need to look at how this energy translates in our life when we look at the balance of teamwork versus individuality. An Aquarian full moon, it sparks activity, it sparks energy. We want to socialize, we want to be with other people. So as much as you can, let your hair down and have a very good time during this fun-loving energy that we step into. Okay, now we also have some things happening. First of all, we have Mars trining Jupiter, which is a very good thing. It's a very positive thing. Okay, we get this strong desire to compete, to win. And when we tap into this energy, it increases our confidence, our courage. We're more optimistic. We're willing to take a risk on ourselves. And we have very good judgment under this kind of energy. So now's the time to fulfill a passionate desire. It's time to make those important decisions, or maybe take the lead on something. Increase your wealth in some way. It brings in very good fortune for us and very successful actions in order to bring in that good fortune. But we also have, as the other thing that's happening, is we have Mercury opposite Saturn. And this is not a great energy at all. Okay, it makes us very serious. It makes us very serious in our thinking and in our conversations. And this energy actually works against the Mars trining Jupiter. Okay, it impairs our good judgment. So we need to seriously think about the consequences of any of our actions before we act. Okay, so it's pulling it back a bit, understanding it, maybe long term instead of just right in the moment. So it has the potential for bad news. We can easily become frustrated, and if you start to feel like you are, you're getting worried about things, or you're sad, or maybe you feel an isolation or feeling alone. So remember, negative thoughts, okay, just makes things worse, and we just keep drawing in that negative energy when we start going down that rabbit hole. So stop, delete, cancel, and put in some very positive attributes in its place, okay? Because it's only, it's only the energy working against us and us getting sucked into the serious energy. There's also a very bright energy that we can tap into. So we need to turn our focus on the energy that we want to embrace, that we want to have as our path forward. Mars and Mercury give us a sense of urgency to get things done. So that's going to provide the motivation. That's going to provide the initiative, right? And the decisiveness to turn our thoughts into actions and actions into successes. We have the courage right now to achieve our greatest desires. But our actions will be more successful if we tone down that enthusiasm. So turn it down a couple of notches and add, okay, patience and planning. Turn up those knobs, okay? So down on the enthusiasm, the optimism, just a little bit, so that we can think things through, so we can pull things back, so we can truly decide whether or not this is a great move forward or not one to be walked upon. So anyways, let's go to the cards, shall we? So, and remember, subscribe, ring the bell, so you're notified every time I release new content. I haven't drawn for the Instagram yet. Life got busy there, so I apologize for that hiccup, but I will get there shortly. I'm also starting to do something with the blog on my website, so stay tuned for that. I've started doing it, and I've made you a commitment that I'm going to post every day. Just something very small. I can't do, if it's going to be every day, I can't do pages of stuff, but grow your wisdom, have something to journal about, give it some thought, your take on it. Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say here. Now, our underlying energy for this full moon is the Seven of Swords. And so it's not, we just can't trust everybody. We can't share our deepest desires with the world. They'll try and squash it like a bug because they can't see it from our point of view. They can't see the masterpiece because it's in our thoughts, it's in our mind. They don't have that in their thought or their mind, so they can't perceive it. Therefore, they will undermine it and maybe undermine you in actually going forward. So keep it to yourself. Also, it might be a good idea. And if I was doing a reading for somebody the one time, and I saw like a new business coming in. They said, well, what is it? And I said, well, if I knew what it was, I'd grab the idea and run with it. But I would never do that. But of course, we had a good giggle at that. So you have to be careful of who you're sharing, your dreams, your desires, your heart with. Okay? And are they trustworthy? Now, also, we also have to understand what truly has value and allow things to fall away in our life. So this is the 9 energy coming out, is saying we don't need everything in order to go forward. So we have to understand what has value, what supports us, what do we need on our path forward, and what are we just taking along with us? What kind of energies can we close off, complete, end? Okay, here we walk by 2 swords standing straight up, easy to grab. We wouldn't even have missed a beat in our step, but we stopped to pick down that one. Walked right by those other 2. That's the energy we need. That's the tool we need. So we're making sure that we have what we need in order to go forward. So we're taking an inventory, but we're also looking at what we are going to leave behind. Our first card is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is about protecting and nurturing your dreams, your desires. Giving, your dreams, your passions, the love, the attention, the focus. It needs to thrive. The energy, the time, the resources in order for it to thrive. Whether it's good health or abundance in love, family, friends, growing your spirituality, changing habits, behaviors for the better. Maybe it's your health, your well-being. Maybe it's your education. Maybe you're growing a business or starting one. Whatever it may be, it's a time to protect and nurture your passions, your dreams, your desires. It's like holding your baby for the first time and telling them how the world is open to them, whatever they want to be, and you'll stand with them and stand proud, and wherever you can help, you will. And when your children, as they grow, you are there to help wherever you can. And so we need to do that for ourselves as well. We need to do that for our passions, for our dreams going forwards. And it's very potent, that being our first card. Now we also have the 4 of Pentacles, which is telling us that we are holding on to things that slow us down, that weigh us down, that do not allow us to go forward with the sense of liberation or the sense of freedom that we so deserve in our path forward and walking our path. So what are you holding on to? Because if you just take your feet off those pentacles, if you just release that pentacle, if you stand up and you turn around, you see this giant pentacle, it's a gate. That is the doorway to your abundance. That is the path forward. And it's being guarded by angels, waiting for you to release what no longer serves you, what no longer has value. Pardon me. I just need a sip of water here. Hang on. My apologies. So it's about releasing and letting go, and celebrating that release and letting go of things and letting it in the past. And if it's people, that's okay, because the longer you prolong a relationship that needs to end, or there needs to be space, the longer you also prolong them in going forward in the path they're supposed to be walking. So do yourselves both a favor. The Hierophant shows up here. This is having a faith, a belief in yourself, absolutely, but in God, your angels, your guides, the universe, source. This is having communication with them. This is through prayer, through meditation, through quiet contemplation. This is having conversations with your higher self. It's about giving gratitude. It's asking for help. It's asking for love. It's asking for things to come into existence. It's also being grateful for the things that are already in existence and taking stock of that. Sometimes it's not about getting from A to B, but it's the journey. It's the journey that's the most important part. So don't be too fast to rush, and have a patience with its own divine timing for things to unfold in your life. So if you don't have any kind of spiritual practice, I would ask you over the next 2 weeks during this full moon energy to have some kind of practice in place, whether or not it's journaling, meditation, prayer, prayer, but about releasing things, letting things go, moving past, allowing forgiveness to yourself. We are so hard on ourselves. Or some sort of healing, because you're deserving of the healing so that you can move forward. We have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, we're standing strong in our words, right? Mercury is very active in this, but Mercury is opposing, right? So our words aren't as strong as we would like them to be. And yet we might stand our ground on things. So make sure that it's about winning the war, not the battle. So some things we don't need to argue about. Some things we don't need to stand toe-to-toe on. Other things we do. We have to stand our ground. The 7 energy, right? We don't want to compromise ourselves away. So we have to, this will be a time in the next couple of weeks where we will be standing our ground. Standing for what we believe in, for what we want, for what we deserve. And it's how we go about it as well as so many other factors. And so we don't want to burn our bridges here, but yet we don't want to give a part of ourselves away in the process. So there is that fine balance, right, of Leo and Aquarius. And where do we have that individuality and standing our own ground, and where do we need to work within a group of people? A society, perhaps, a team. One more, sure. And we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is saying dream the dream, but dream it bigger. If your dream doesn't scare you just a titch, you are not dreaming big enough. Okay? It should be like, what if I could? What if I actually tried and it worked? What if that was just the beginning? I set a 5-year goal a year ago, and I've already accomplished it. So how exciting is that to be able to set some more goals? And, statistically, it is proven, right? We are, for those short range goals, we don't give ourselves enough time. And for those long range goals, we give ourselves way too much time. And so know that as humans, we all do that to one extent or another, and it's about bringing it into focus. And obviously I did bring it into focus, so I'm telling you, do as I say and not as I do, please. But the Page of Pentacles is about dreaming it big, and you're not going to know all the details, okay? There's a fog there. You're not going to know all the details, and it's okay not to know the details. The details will fill in. Don't worry. We'll get lots of energy where it's very detail-oriented, and we have to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. This is not an energy for that. It's about dreaming about the expansion of your horizon, of your future, of what you want to truly step into, and going to work at clearing away some energy, some things in our lives in order to invite that new experience into being. Okay, we will go to an oracle card here. Oh my goodness. I cut it with one card, so it is the card. 24 energy. Be your best self always. The 24 energy was actually the last new moon, the degrees of the last new moon. I remember it so well because I was at the Good Earth at Starved Rock wellness retreat, and I did readings for everybody, and in the numerology for everybody except for two lone people, everybody had the 24 energy somewhere in their numerology, which was extremely cool. Because I do notice that a lot. I'll get waves of certain energies. All of a sudden, all the Aries moon people are reaching out to me, or the Scorpio sun people are reaching out to me, or so I'll get waves of that. So it was really amazing at that retreat, where under the 24 energy, we had so much 24 energy at this wellness retreat. So talk about knowing it was a blessed event. It was just amazing. It was incredible. I wish you all could have been there. So be your best self always. Be your best self always. Love yourself. Know yourself. It's easy to be your best self when you know yourself. When you love yourself. Okay. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling at this moment? Are you being the person you aspire to be? Remember that you determine how you feel. You are constantly choosing to feel the way you feel. It's understandable. We're all human, and there are times that we don't feel 100%. You drew this card to help you to remember to access the highest level of emotions now. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Do your utmost to achieve more, love more, and to be your very best. So doesn't that absolutely jive with all the other energy? We'll get an animal card. Of course, we will do a journey of love card as well, it being a full moon reading, because that one just ties it all together. That deck just astounds me each and every time. I got goosebumps going up and down my spine just saying that. Okay, well, let's see what animal comes in to talk to us. And we have the giraffe, the visionary. I'm going to hold that card up for a minute, but everything is just too far away now for me to see. So if I snuck up close, I could read the screen, but yeah, that's not happening anymore, people. So, rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. So it's all about loving with a big heart. It's all about standing tall in our self-worth, about not compromising parts of our happiness or our joy away in order to create beauty and harmony in our life. That's not the way to do it. You can create beauty and harmony without giving a part of you away. So no, stand tall for your self-worth. Absolutely. And like I said, during the Cancer new moon, we have this energy with us for the next 18 months of loving ourselves, of realizing that we deserve, that we are worthy, that we have potential, that we have talents, that we have abilities, that we have a unique personality. Are we here for a reason? I think we're here for many reasons, many destinies, many experiences where we touch each other's lives, create a better environment, learn lessons, and yes, to have joy. Okay, let's see. Heaven, the 70 energy. So if we have the 70 energy, 7 plus 0 is the 7 energy once again. So I don't want that reflection on there for you when I hold the card up. Isn't that an amazing picture? I have to look. Oh, my eyes are old for some reason. Oh, there's all kinds of people in the clouds. Oh, this is going to be exciting to find out. Okay. I don't think I've ever had this card before. I'm all flustered now. Okay, we will start with the poem, and then we will go to the definition of the card. I cannot do the author or the artist, any kind of justice by trying to wing this on my own. This deck that they channeled is absolutely amazing. Every part of it, every detail of it. So let's do that. Okay. The sky ablaze with morning light on silver wings of bird in flight. In gratitude a tear released, a knowingness embraced at peace. She speaks to those that gaze below. Ancestral wings which call my soul to open hearts and soar above. In awe the winds await this love. You were meant to live heaven now, not later, sometime after you die. So, You were meant to live heaven. Live in heaven, maybe? Now, not later, sometime after you die. What use is this life and body if not to live heaven now? Look for the mad divine genius in all that is, especially the puzzling parts of your life, and make you scratch your head, or tear at your hair, or scrunch up your face and scream with frustration. Those are the places in which the divine is saying, "Here, heaven is hiding. Let's unveil it together. Let me show you. Let me unveil your own mad divine genius right here. Look for heaven, even in hiding. It will not withhold itself from you for long, beloved. It wants to be known by you." This oracle brings you a special message. The enlightener is calling you to more, to more, to more. More divinity, more love, more acceptance, more embrace of life itself. There is no limit in what is being offered to you from the divine lover calling to you. Rejoice and know that the dance of love between you and the divine is a removing of the veils of illusion, one at a time, until you behold each other, naked and true, finally to discover you are each other. You are love. Well, if that just doesn't sum it up completely, I don't know what does. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are deserving. And yes, there is a heaven on earth. I won't go into it, but I can say with certainty, with a little bit of discipline and a little bit of work and building some muscles that we were told not to build in our lives. Intuition and gut feelings and a love for the divine. There's a lot of beauty to be had in this world. A little slice of heaven is a little bit of everywhere. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.